The difference between soul and spirit. Hey there, spiritual seekers and curious minds. Welcome back to Journey of Spirits. Today we're diving deep into a topic that's puzzled philosophers, theologians, and everyday folks for centuries. The difference between soul and spirit. Buckle up, because we're about to embark on a mind-bending adventure that might just change the way you see yourself and the world around you. Picture this. You're standing on a beach at sunset, waves lapping at your feet, a gentle breeze caressing your face. In that moment, do you feel a sense of peace washing over you? Is it your soul finding harmony with nature, or your spirit soaring with the beauty of the moment? Or maybe it's both. This, my friends, is the kind of question we're tackling today. The concepts of soul and spirit have been intertwined throughout human history, often used interchangeably. But are they really the same thing? Spoiler alert, they're not. And understanding the difference could be the key to unlocking a deeper understanding of yourself and your place in this vast, mysterious universe. Why does this matter, you ask? Well, imagine trying to tune a guitar without knowing the difference between the strings and the frets. You might make some noise, but you'll never create true harmony. In the same way, understanding the distinct roles of your soul and spirit can help you tune your life to resonate with your deepest purpose and highest potential. So, whether you're a longtime spiritual junkie or just dipping your toes into the waters of self-discovery, this video is for you. Let's unravel this cosmic mystery together. Basic definitions. All right, let's start with the basics. What exactly are we talking about when we say soul and spirit? What is the soul? Think of your soul as your spiritual fingerprint. It's the essence of who you are, your true self beneath all the layers of personality, experiences, and beliefs you've accumulated over time. The soul is often described as eternal, the part of you that existed before you were born and will continue to exist after your physical body is gone. Imagine your soul as a brilliant diamond, unique and precious. No matter how much dirt or grime might cover it throughout life's journey, its inherent beauty and value remain unchanged. What is the spirit? Now, the spirit is a bit trickier to pin down. It's more like the energy that animates you, the force that gives life to your body and consciousness to your mind. Your spirit is closely tied to your state of being in the present moment. It can soar with joy, sink with despair, or find peace in meditation. Think of your spirit as the wind, invisible yet powerful, capable of gentle breezes and raging storms. It's the part of you that can change and grow, that connects you to the world around you and to other people. Common misconceptions. Wait a minute. I hear you say, aren't soul and spirit just two words for the same thing? It's a common misconception, and honestly, I don't blame anyone for being confused. Even religious texts sometimes use these terms interchangeably. But here's the thing. While soul and spirit are closely related, they play different roles in our spiritual makeup. It's like confusing a lighthouse with its beam of light. The lighthouse, soul, is the fixed, eternal structure, while the beam, spirit, is the dynamic force that reaches out and interacts with the world. Understanding this distinction is like putting on a pair of spiritual glasses. Suddenly, a lot of things about your inner life might come into sharper focus. Historical and cultural origins. Now let's hop into our time machine and take a whirlwind tour through history. The concepts of soul and spirit have deep roots in human culture, and their meanings have evolved over millennia. Ancient conceptions of the soul. Picture ancient Egypt, land of pyramids and pharaohs. The Egyptians believed in a complex spiritual anatomy, including the Ba, personality, and the Ka, life force. These concepts influenced Greek philosophers like Plato, who saw the soul as the essence of a person, the source of reason, character, and intelligence. Meanwhile, across the world in ancient China, philosophers spoke of Hun and Po, the ethereal and corporeal souls. The Hun was thought to leave the body after death and roam in the spirit world, while the Po remained with the body. The evolution of the spirit concept. The idea of spirit has its own fascinating journey. In many ancient cultures, spirit was literally breath, the invisible force that animates living beings. The Hebrew ruach, Greek pneuma, and Latin spiritus all carry this dual meaning of breath and spirit. Over time, the concept of spirit evolved to encompass not just the breath of life, but also the qualities of consciousness, wisdom, and connection to the divine. In many traditions, cultivating the spirit became a path to enlightenment or union with God. Religious and philosophical influences. As religions developed, so did their interpretations of soul and spirit. Christianity, for instance, often views the human as a tripartite being of body, soul, and spirit. In this view, the spirit is the part that can commune directly with God. In Hinduism and Buddhism, the concept of Atman, or true self, shares some similarities with Western ideas of the soul, while also differing in significant ways. Philosophy, too, has grappled with these concepts. Aristotle saw the soul as the form or essence of any living thing, while Descartes famously declared, "I think, therefore I am," positioning consciousness, which we might associate with spirit, as the fundamental proof of existence. It's a lot to take in, isn't it? But here's the beautiful thing. All these diverse perspectives are like different facets of a giant cosmic diamond. Each one reflects a piece of the truth about our spiritual nature, characteristics of the soul. Now that we've laid the groundwork, let's zoom in on the soul. What makes it tick? What sets it apart? Eternal nature. One of the most common beliefs about the soul is its eternal nature. Many traditions teach that the soul exists before birth and continues after death. It's like the cosmic version of conservation of energy. The soul can change form, but it cannot be created or destroyed. Imagine your soul as a traveler on an infinite journey. Your current life is just one stop on this grand adventure. This perspective can be incredibly liberating. It reminds us that our existence is far grander than just this one lifetime. Connection to the deep self. Your soul is often described as your truest self, the core of your being that remains constant throughout your life. It's the part of you that knows who you really are, beyond all the roles you play and masks you wear. Think of it this way. If your life were a movie, your soul would be the director, quietly guiding the action from behind the scenes. It knows the whole story, even when you, the actor, can only see the current scene. Role in spiritual beliefs. In many spiritual traditions, the soul is seen as the part of us that can connect with the divine or the universal consciousness. It's our personal link to the greater spiritual reality. For some, nurturing the soul is the ultimate purpose of life. It's about aligning our everyday actions with our soul's wisdom and purpose. This is where practices like meditation, prayer, and self-reflection come in. They're all ways of tuning into the soul's frequency. A soul-stirring story. Let me share a story that illustrates the profound nature of the soul. There's a tale from the Hasidic Jewish tradition about a rabbi named Zusha. On his deathbed, Zusha began to cry. His students asked him, "Rabbi, why are you crying? You've led such a good life." Zusha replied, "When I get to heaven, God won't ask me, 'Why weren't you more like Moses?' or 'Why weren't you more like King David?' God will ask me, 'Zusha, why weren't you more like Zusha?'" This story beautifully captures the essence of the soul. It's not about living up to external standards or being like someone else. It's about being true to your unique spiritual identity, the Zusha-ness of Zusha, or the you-ness of you. Your soul is that inner compass that always points toward your truest self. It's the quiet voice that nudges you back on track when you've strayed from your path. Learning to listen to that voice, that's where the real adventure begins. Characteristics of the spirit. Now let's shift our focus to the spirit. If the soul is the eternal essence, the spirit is the dynamic force that brings that essence to life in the here and now. Connection to consciousness and awareness. Your spirit is intimately connected with your consciousness and awareness. It's the part of you that experiences life in real time, that feels the full range of human emotions and sensations. Think of your spirit as the lens through which your soul experiences the world. It's what allows you to be fully present in each moment, to engage with life with all your senses and faculties. Capacity for change and growth. Unlike the relatively constant nature of the soul, the spirit is highly dynamic. It can grow, change, and evolve over time. This is why we talk about someone having a broken spirit or a strong spirit. These describe states that can shift based on our experiences and choices. Your spirit is like a plant. With proper nurturing, positive experiences, personal growth work, spiritual practices, it can flourish and bloom. Neglect it, and it may wither. But the beautiful thing is, Even a withered spirit can be revived with proper care. Impact on mental well-being. The state of your spirit has a huge impact on your mental and emotional well-being. When your spirit is vibrant and strong, you feel alive, engaged, and resilient. When it's low or depleted, you might feel disconnected, unmotivated, or easily overwhelmed. This is why practices that nourish the spirit, like spending time in nature, engaging in creative activities, or connecting deeply with others, are so important for our overall health and happiness. Examples of spiritual strength in life. Let's look at some real-life examples of spiritual strength in action. Think of someone like Nelson Mandela, who endured 27 years of imprisonment without losing his vision of a free and equal South Africa. His spirit remained unbroken despite immense hardship. Or consider the countless everyday heroes who face chronic illnesses or disabilities with grace and determination. Their physical bodies may be limited, but their spirits soar, inspiring everyone around them. I'm reminded of a woman I met once. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah had been diagnosed with a terminal illness, but instead of retreating into despair, she used her remaining time to start a support group for others with the same condition. Her body was failing, but her spirit? It was stronger than ever, touching lives and spreading hope. These examples show us that while we can't always control our circumstances, we have immense power over how our spirit responds to those circumstances. A strong spirit can find opportunity in adversity, peace in chaos, and meaning in struggle. Cultivating your spirit is like strength training for your inner self. Every challenge you face, every moment of joy you fully embrace, every act of kindness you perform, all of these are reps and sets building your spiritual strength. And here's the really cool part. As your spirit grows stronger, it becomes a clearer channel for expressing the wisdom and purpose of your soul. It's like tuning a radio to pick up a distant station. The clearer the signal, the more beautiful the music. Direct comparison. Now it's time to bring them together and see how they stack up side by side. Comparison table of key features. Let's break it down with a simple comparison. This table compares different aspects of soul and spirit. 1. Nature. The soul is eternal and constant, while the spirit is dynamic and changeable. 2. Function. The soul represents the core identity, like a spiritual fingerprint. The spirit acts as an animating force and serves as a bridge to the world. 3. Relation to time. The soul transcends time, whereas the spirit exists in the present moment. 4. Growth. The soul unfolds its inherent nature. The spirit can be strengthened or weakened. 5. Awareness. The soul is associated with deep intuitive knowing. The spirit is linked to conscious experience and perception. 6. Life challenges. The soul serves as a source of resilience and purpose. The spirit can be uplifted or dampened by challenges. This table helps clarify the distinctions between these two often confused concepts, showing how each plays a separate but important role in the spiritual nature of human beings. It illustrates that while the soul provides a constant core essence, the spirit is more fluid and responsive to our daily experiences and challenges. It's not about one being better than the other. Both play crucial roles in our spiritual makeup. Interaction between soul and spirit. Now, here's where it gets really fascinating. The soul and spirit aren't just separate entities. They're in constant interaction, influencing and shaping each other. Think of it like this. If your life were a grand symphony, your soul would be the composer, creating the underlying melody and harmony. Your spirit, then, would be the conductor and the orchestra, bringing that music to life in real time, interpreting and expressing it through the instruments of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. When your spirit is in alignment with your soul, that's when the music of your life is at its most beautiful and powerful. You feel a sense of purpose, authenticity, and deep fulfillment. It's like everything in your life is humming in perfect harmony. But here's the thing. This alignment isn't a one-time achievement. It's a constant dance, a moment-by-moment tuning of the spirit to the soul's frequency. Sometimes we fall out of tune. That's just part of being human. The key is to develop the awareness to recognize when we're off-key and the tools to tune ourselves back up. Illustrative story. The Garden and the Gardener. Let me share a little story to illustrate this interaction. Imagine a magnificent garden. This garden exists in its perfect, ideal form in the mind of a master gardener. This is like your soul, the perfect, eternal blueprint of who you truly are. Now, the actual physical garden is like your spirit. It's the real-world manifestation of that ideal. Some days, the garden is blooming beautifully, bursting with color and life. Other days, it might be overgrown or wilting in a drought. The gardener, that's you by the way, has the job of tending this garden, trying to make it match the ideal as closely as possible. Some days, the work is easy and joyful. Other days, it's a real struggle. But here's the beautiful part. As the gardener works, something magical happens. Yes, the physical garden becomes more beautiful. But also, the gardener's vision of the ideal garden evolves. Maybe they discover a new flower that's even more beautiful than what they had imagined. Or perhaps they realize that what they thought was a weed actually adds a unique charm to the landscape. This is how your soul and spirit interact. As your spirit grows and changes through life experiences, it can reveal new aspects of your soul that you hadn't recognized before. And as you connect more deeply with your soul, it inspires your spirit to new heights of expression and experience. It's a beautiful, never-ending cycle of growth and discovery. Your soul provides the eternal blueprint, while your spirit brings it to life in ever-new ways. Together, they make you the unique, evolving, magnificent being that you are. Significance in daily life. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This is all very poetic and philosophical, but what does it mean for my everyday life? How does understanding the difference between soul and spirit actually help me? Great question. Let's get practical and explore how this understanding can transform your daily experience. Nurturing the soul. Nurturing your soul is about connecting with your deepest self and your ultimate purpose. It's not something you do once and check off your list. It's an ongoing practice of alignment and authenticity. Here are some practical ways to nurture your soul. 1. Self-reflection. Take time regularly to check in with yourself. Ask big questions like, what truly matters to me? Or am I living in alignment with my values? Journaling can be a powerful tool for this. 2. Meditation or prayer. These practices can help you quiet the noise of everyday life and tune into your soul's wisdom. 3. Nature connection. Spending time in nature can help you feel connected to something larger than yourself, which is often a soul-nourishing experience. 4. Creative expression. Whether it's art, music, writing, or any other form of creativity, expressing yourself can be a powerful way to connect with your soul. 5. Acts of service. Helping others without expectation of reward can align you with your soul's higher purpose. Remember, soul-nurturing activities often feel timeless. And there you have it. Fellow spiritual explorers, we've journeyed through the fascinating realms of soul and spirit. But remember, this is just the beginning of the adventure. If you've enjoyed this cosmic exploration, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, your soul will thank you for it. And hey, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Has this video changed how you view your inner world? Do you have any experiences with soul-spirit connections you'd like to share? Drop a comment below. Your insights not only fuel our community's growth, but also help shape future videos. So don't be shy. Let your spirit express itself in the comments.